own the GameCube version, however, so I'm limited to clips on YouTube. The music is great for the genre, and it definitely gets you pumped up for the fight. I especially like the song titled Challenger. Just look it up when you get the chance. The voice acting is what I expected from Funimation. This game was released around the time Funimation started to get their own identity instead of shamelessly mimicking the previous Ocean dub. Overall, everybody does a pretty good job, although there are quite a number of times where the glazed ham is brought out in full display. You're a While in action, there's plenty of shouting, grunts, and battle cries, just about everything that made Dragon Ball Z what it was famous for. Still, there are times where I find some character grunts and sounds just plain bizarre, mainly from Frieza. And honestly, what's the deal with some of these attack names? Anyway, fans of Dragon Ball Z should definitely give it a shot. Maybe one day I'll go into the actual series itself, being that I'm still quite a huge fan of it, but that's definitely for a later time. While the sequels in the Budokai series will go on to improve the formula and overall gameplay, especially in Budokai 3, I still think this game is worth a play, if anything, just for the story mode. Alright, I'm gonna end this before I break out in a fit of laughter. Phew! Finally glad I got that game out of the way. So let's see what's up next. So Alright, Jesus Christ. Alright, look. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I apologize for disappearing after the Sonic Generations review, but the winds of change are approaching, and I promise you guys the future is looking good. Next up, Metroid Prime 3. Yay!
About time. I hope he reviews Metroid Prime 3. I may die. You're dead.
When they release a new game. And given Nintendo's track record with that could be a while. Regardless, I hope you guys can understand why I'm such a diehard fan of the franchise in general. Yeah, it had its ups and downs, but what franchise doesn't? The Metroid series can be a hell of a lot of fun, especially with games like Super Metroid, Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Zero Mission. So if you ever find yourself bored and looking for something new to try out, give Metroid a shot. You might really like it. So what next? Oh, you know what? I got a lot of people asking if I can do... Son of a bitch, I thought I turned it off.
Hello, Johnny.
Ted? It's not time for a commentary, is it?
Johnny, isn't there something you need to work on?
I told you before, the second Sonic animation was completed months ago.
Not that. Didn't you say you would do a certain month of if I completed the first Legend of Zelda game fair and square?
But you used an emulator, Ted. That's not legitimate.
Well, you never said I couldn't use an emulator, so suck it up, bitch. I win by technicality.
No, but Ted, those are RPGs. If I won't do a month of Final Fantasy, why the hell would I do a month of Pokemon?
We made a bet, John, and you lost. Now give me my month of Pokemon or...
Son of a bitch. Hello?
You can't escape me, asshole. Now stop being such a pussy and do the...
Alright. Jesus Christ. Well, that's a bet. Bring on the Pokemon. By those who want to see how the Pokemon phenomenon started in the first place. While I personally have the most memories with these three games, I forgot about Pokemon Yellow. Well, short and to the point, Pokemon Yellow is just an expansion of Red and Blue with influences from the anime. For instance, when you begin your journey, you're given a Pikachu to start off with, and it's always following right behind you. This makes getting your first gym badge a bit of a challenge because Pikachu can't do shit to Brock's Rock-type Pokemon. Because of this, the beginning of Pokemon Yellow can drag a bit, but at the same time, it can also teach you the importance of relying on different Pokemon to win different battles. All the artwork of the Pokemon has been updated to look less ugly, but I gotta admit, I love the old sprites just because of how ugly they were. Just look at Geodude here. He's not made of rock, he's just a floating head with arms rocking that questionable hairstyle. Your journey in general is also a tad different, and if you play your cards right, you can attain all three starter Pokemon from Red and Blue. In addition to that, Jessie and James, the two most idiotic members of Team Rocket from the anime, were added, usually in areas where you're already finding a ton of Team Rocket members to begin with. Overall, Pokemon Yellow is often considered the complete version of the first generation games, something I wholeheartedly agree with. While Pokemon Yellow still sports the problems I had with Red and Blue, if you want the definitive first generation experience, you play this game. Again, I only used Pokemon Blue as the basis for this review because it's the version I played the most as a teenager. Well, that's one generation down. Well, kind of. We technically still have 2 more games to review, so next time we meet, we're going to play a game that I always wanted to own during our Pokemon High, Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. See you guys next week.
With one generation of Pokemon under his belt, how will the other remaining Pokemon games fare against John's opinion? Will Generation 2 satisfy John's need for a solid role-playing game? Only time will tell whether or not these games are...
Dude, I already stay at the other generations do a much better job. There's no need for the suspense. Now, a few months ago, my friend and co-commentator, Ned, who's not with us anymore, local Blockbuster and print them out at the game station. Oh, wait. Graphically speaking, it's great, especially from the Nintendo 64, and the music is all remixes of your favorite tunes from Red, Blue, and Yellow. Speaking of which, I'm surprised I forgot to comment on the music from Generation 1 during my review. It's fantastic stuff, especially the battle and travel themes. If there's one thing that can enrich a video game experience, it's great music, and the first generation certainly delivers on that aspect. In the end, Pokemon Stadium should only be approached by those who actually have the transfer pack to make the battles more comfortable. But even then, the battle mechanics from the handhelds don't transition well into 3D because of how long and drawn out the battles can potentially become. Yeah, you can always save your progress and conquer battles little by little, but I think that kind of game design is better suited for a handheld and not a console game. Well, that was disappointing. Do you think it wouldn't matter if I actually had the transfer pack so I could transfer all of my favorite Pokemon into the game itself? Then again, it wouldn't really matter at this point because, like I stated earlier, the battery pack on this thing died long ago, so I can't save games, so even if I wanted to, I can't. So, I guess this is the part where I tell you guys to stay tuned for Pokemon Snap, but I don't want to end the week on this note. I mean, couldn't really fully explore the game, but what else can I look at? Stupid doll. I don't even know why I fucking bother. Your head is so god... the discard pile. If you inflict a status condition on a Pokemon, you turn the card to the proper position to establish what effect it's suffering from. If there's one thing this game loves having you do, it's flipping a coin. You flip a coin to determine just about everything. Who starts the game, certain attacks, Pokemon abilities, healing status conditions, prerequisites for training cards. There are even cards that require you to flip coins multiple times with the result determined on how many heads or tails you landed. I can imagine Two-Face would lose his goddamn mind playing this game. Personally, if I were you, I'd use actual currency for the coin, like a quarter or a 50-cent piece, because the in-game coin, while neat-looking, is pretty flimsy, and it gets caught in the weakest of air currents. When you knock an opponent's Pokemon out, you can take one of the 6 prize cards you placed at the beginning of the match. If you can win all of your prize cards, you win the game. If your opponent has no active or benched Pokemon left, you also win the game. And that's about it. Like I said, I just wanted to go over the basic fundamentals and such. From what I can guess, constructing a winning deck is all about how well your cards can perform individually, as well as complementing the deck as a whole. There are a lot of things to consider when making a deck, but that's only if you have any interest in the game to begin with. Whether it's local play, tournaments, or online, the Pokemon trading card game can make for a nice hobby. Since I don't really care about the actual game itself, I won't even begin to attempt to explain how to build a good deck. I'll stick with the handheld games.
So now that we're done with this, can we go back to Yu-Gi-Oh, man?
Second. Sacrifice. Jinzo. Move a light and a dark. Blackluster Soldier. Envoy at the beginning. Attack for game.
fucking 3 ancient Mews. Why do I have
pictures on your message board and share them among friends? Back in the day, you could take pictures to a local Blockbuster and print them out at a game station. I don't think I ever saw one of these in my neighborhood, although it could be just because I was more of a Hollywood video kind of guy. Pokemon Snap, while not an incredibly deep game, is still a rather fun distraction, although it shouldn't take you more than 2 hours to fully complete it. There are high scores you can attempt to beat, but for me, as soon as I capture that last Pokemon on film, I usually just turn it off. Give it a shot if you're a curious enough Pokemon fan. Oh, that was okay, but nothing amazing. I'm gonna play something else. I'm not sure what.
John?
Ted.
Pokemon Snap? Really?
What? It's a fun little distraction.
John, stop stalling it already. Just get to Generation 2. It's the one everyone wants. It's my favorite in my series.
But what about Hey You Pikachu?
Don't you dare. Now come on, just get to Generation 2. Please?
Okay, fine. Next week we're jumping to Generation 2.
And I'm gonna help you.
What you say?
I said it before. Generation 2 is my favorite in the series, and I'll be damned if you mess up any of the details.
I didn't mess up details before.
Actually, Johnny, in your red, blue, and yellow review, you mistook a picture of Satoshi Tajiri for Tsunekaze Ishihara, the president of Pokemon Company. So, yeah, you're gonna need our help on this one.
Wait, you're joining too?
I have 3 ancient Mews. You doubt my credibility.
Why do you have 3 Ancient Mew cards?
I don't know, Ted. Why do you look like Loki?
Hey!
Alright, you guys can help me review Gold and Silver.
And Crystal.
See, we're helping already.
Let's just end this video already.
Ooh, is this where the to be continued text appears? There it is. Or is it there? I don't even know anymore. What did you say?
I'm not doing a month at Kirby. Doesn't deserve one.
Ah, boy, here we go.
Shit.
No one. This is Kirby. John, I challenge you to a Pokemon battle.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, wouldn't you just battle already?
Fine. Ted, get ready to be schooled. I hope you guys enjoyed Month of Pokemon. I hope you guys stay tuned for more reviews. Batman Arkham City is coming up next. In the meantime,
Bring it on, bitch.
oh, it'll be my pleasure, Loki. Let's go.
The